What is up, everyone? It's WTS Weather here with yet another weather forecast video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the possibility for a major northeast storm later this weekend, and we'll be going over every model and all of the possibilities it can have on the northeast coast this weekend. Now, before we do get started, of course, if you guys want to help out the channel, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps my video get recommended to more people, and it motivates me to make more content every day for you guys. So with that being said, let's get into it. So taking a look here at the GFS model, this is February 11th. This is Friday morning, rather, sorry. So as you see, relatively quiet. Like we talked about yesterday, we do have this clipper system up here. And we also, one thing I want to note is we have this Gulf air that's going to be pushing into places like New York City. It's basically fighting this trough here, which I don't know if you guys can really see. It's like right about here. It's basically going to be fighting it and trying to push north to the northeast United States for places like New York City, Virginia, Pennsylvania. And it does wind for a little bit, which if we move ahead a little bit further, we can see that it does eventually move up. So if you were like above this line right here, you guys really will be getting some, normal cold air. But if you were below that line, you guys are going to be getting above average temperatures. Now, not too far above average, maybe like 5 to 10 degrees. It's not going to be like a major thing, but just something to keep in mind. You guys are going to be getting milder temperatures for places like the mid-Atlantic and the southeast United States for the upcoming few days before the storm comes. Now, another thing I want to note is we have, once again, this clipper, and this clipper is basically what it's going to do is it's going to help this trough move to the east and push that warm air back down to the south. So if we move ahead a little bit more here, you can see it pulls down this trough here, and this trough will eventually move to the east, and you can see it does push that warm air back to the south, which will help the storm that is upcoming to be all snow and not be rain and not have to worry about that at all, which we will take a look at in a second. Now, before we do go take a look at that, I think this is just another small thing to note. Along this trough here from this clipper system, there will be some precip. So if you guys see snow showers in this area here, anywhere along the eastern United States, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it's really going to cause any problems. Some places might get lucky, and you guys might get an inch or two of, some snow, maybe some winter mix as well. But it's not really anything to worry about. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's next. Now, after that clipper system is all said and done and out of our way, this is 1 a.m. Sunday morning. This is very early Sunday morning. You can see we still have this little area here of precip that we talked about along your front. We also have this area of moisture in the Gulf of Mexico down here. Now, eventually, this area of moisture is going to move off the coast and form a low-pressure system off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. And what this is going to do is it's going to phase with this precip along the trough. And what this is going to do, of course, is going to basically juice it up and cause some moderate snow to fall over places like New Jersey and places in the mid-Atlantic. Now, models are still trending stronger and stronger compared to yesterday. This is much further to the west. And please keep in mind, this is still 100 hours out, so it could go either way. But it is looking more and more likely every model run that we will have a strong storm to impact the northeast United States. Now, if we skip ahead just a little bit here, this is hour 108. So with that being said, please keep in mind, this is not going to 100% happen. This is not set in stone. However, it is just more and more likely now compared to yesterday because most of the models have trended to the west. We now have, I think it's 3 of the models are in agreement, which is pretty good. You have 2 of the major models. I think actually the European does show something for the northeast, some light precip, not as much as the GFS, but it is still definitely something to watch out for. So once again, 1 p.m. Sunday, you can see you have this area precip here over much of the mid-Atlantic, and it's going to be there for a while. So if we skip ahead a little bit more, 7 p.m. still there, now entering places like southern Maine, Boston. You're going to be getting on some light snow. You can move ahead a little bit further here, still 1 a.m., still going to be sitting there, and then eventually at 7 a.m., moving out of some areas, still New Jersey, New York City for the morning commute. It is still going to be snowing. Move out a little bit further, and by 1 p.m. it is out of the way for mostly everybody. Maybe places like Cape Cod and places to the far east. You guys might still be getting in on something, but pretty much out of the way by 1 p.m. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at another model, which is the CMC model. So taking a look here, as you can see, we can skip ahead a little bit more here, and it is relatively the same as the GFS. However, I think one of the notable things is that it does not have as much of an interaction between the low pressure system and this trough, so it's not really juicing up that precip shield as much as the GFS does. As you can see, still shows some notable snow accumulation for the Northeast, at least for the coastal areas in the Northeast. Maybe places like upstate New York, you might not really get anything out of it. Places by the Great Lakes in Pennsylvania, once again, doesn't look like anything from the CMC model, but please keep in mind, once again, this is bound to change. This is probably, my guess, honestly, it's going to go further to the north, and you could see a big snowstorm out of this. That's the reason I'm really focusing on this video. That is just my opinion, so please, take that with a grain of salt, because as it has it, I'm nowhere near a professional meteorologist. But other than that, we can go ahead to the CMC model, moves out of the area. In terms of snow totals, we're going to take a look at the GFS now for the snow totals. You can see it's kind of bullish on this. It does give a lot more snow compared to other models. But please keep in mind this is still pretty far out. Places, honestly, this is really looking a lot. I personally live in northern New Jersey, so I have not gotten a lot of snow this winter. It's all been to my southeast. So once again, this looks like it's going to be another storm for those coastal areas and Long Island as of right now. But of course, that could change if it moves more to the northwest with the track of the storm. But right now, latest GFS model, this is what it shows. You have your main jackpot zone, I'd say right around here from the GFS model. So with that being said, this is not 100%. Again, you also have another jackpot zone here in areas like Boston. You guys just got a huge blizzard. So once again, you guys should be looking at not as much, definitely not as much as last storm, but you guys could be looking at least the jackpot zone for this storm for places like that. Southern New Jersey, places West Virginia, places far south like that. Now, other than that, there is another storm we have to keep an eye on for about the 17th. I talked about this the other day. It was very far out, and it's 100%, not predictable at this point. Now, latest models, again, have showed some warmer air kind of injecting itself into the northeast and kind of causing it to be all rain. So please, this is 228 hours out. This is going to change, but just once again, a strong storm signal, something to keep an eye on. If this does end up happening for the Northeast, you could see some severe storms for the Eastern United States if this does end up happening with this rain here, which is unlikely, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on because severe season will be kicking up in a few weeks here. So that is 100% something to keep an eye on for the Eastern United States. Now, that does eventually move out of the way, and other than that, it looks relatively quiet on the models. You can see we have another system here that kind of moves out of the way. Now, one thing I do want to talk about that I think is pretty interesting is this here in the Gulf of Mexico. If this moves a little bit north, which please, this is like 318 hours out, really not anything to worry about. But this here is just really interesting to me how you have this really broad and intense area of moisture in the Gulf of Mexico. And if this does end up moving north, you could see some flooding problems on the coast here of, Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, and places like that. But with that being said, that is pretty much it. I mean, you can keep going through the models here, and obviously this gets very far out, and nothing is 100% this far out. So I think that's going to be pretty much it. Still, we do not have a good grip on this storm. It's still about 4 or 5 days out, actually. So please, once again, I will be making another video tomorrow on the system, and the day after, and who knows, maybe I'll even live stream it on Sunday if it turns out to actually be a large event. But yeah, with that being said, that is pretty much it for the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow, and stay safe, and peace out.